Today, people, we are talking transfers. Yes, last week after I bashed the transfer portal, this week we are back talking about where the top 5 transfers in the country will end up for next year. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to College Hoops Tonight. As always, I am your host, Austin Samuels, back here with another off-season episode. If you haven't already, subscribe down below to not miss a thing throughout this off-season. With that, let's hop right into the video. Alright, so today we are talking about where the top 5 players in the transfer portal are going to end up for the 2022-2023 season. Now, these 5 players are players that either aren't entering the NBA draft or I am predicting are going to come out of the NBA draft process. So I believe there's only one player who falls under that category. But with that, let's get right into it. The first player we've got is Tyrese Hunter. Tyrese Hunter is a freshman point guard at Iowa State. A really good Iowa State team that went to the Sweet 16 last year. He's the reigning Big 12 Freshman of the Year. This guy is a stud going forward, I think. I mean, last year he averaged 11 a game, 3.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. He wasn't super efficient. However, I feel like that's going to come in the future. He's a terrific playmaker and can be a streaky scorer, and he showed that at Iowa State for sure. My prediction for him, I have him going to the Purdue Boilermakers. There's been a lot of rumors about him going here. It would make a lot of sense for him to replace Jaden Ivey, top 5 pick in the NBA draft this year. He likes the exposure. Matt Painter's a great head coach. Purdue's going to be a good team next year. Makes sense for him to go there. The runner-up, though, for Hunter, I believe, is Gonzaga. Gonzaga's been after him as well, and they lost a ton of their guard depth, so that would make sense as well. Moving on to the second player, we've got A.J. Green, the junior guard out of Northern Iowa. This guy's the 2-time Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. This past year, he averaged nearly 19 points a game, nearly 4 rebounds, and 2.5 assists with pretty dang good efficiency. 41, 39, 92 splits for A.J. Green. This guy's an absolute volume scorer, as are a lot of these guys on this list from these lower tier mid-major schools. He's a really good shooter, obviously, but I feel like his averages are even better than, they don't accurately reflect how good of a shooter he is because he had to score at such a volume for this Northern Iowa team last year. He is currently the one testing the NBA waters. However, I feel like he isn't going to be in the draft. He has yet to be projected in most mock drafts that I've seen to be in the draft, so I think he's coming back to school. Where he's going to go back to school is where Tyrese Hunter is transferring from. He is going to go to Iowa State. I'm pretty confident in this one. His dad, who used to be an assistant at Northern Iowa, which was kind of why he went there, is now an assistant at Iowa State. I think it makes too much sense. That is where I've got A.J. Green going. However, if not, I think he would actually return to Northern Iowa because he does have a really good relationship with the school there, so that I've read. So moving on to our third guy, and perhaps the biggest name of all these transfers is Matthew Meyer, the senior power forward from the Baylor Bears. Not an outstanding scorer, right? He's not someone who's going to dazzle you in terms of offense. He averaged about 10 points a game, 5 rebounds last year. Fairly efficient, for a college power forward. But the real thing about Meyer and why everyone loves him is he is an elite defender. This Baylor team was known for their defense. He was on that team that was a part of the national champion, or that went on the national championship run. He's an outstanding defender, stands 6'9", very switchable. He can honestly guard 1 through 5. That's how switchable he is in college basketball. Great team defender, good 3-and-D guy. I think his three-point percentage is a little misleading. He was pretty streaky this year in that regard. My transfer prediction for him is North Carolina. I talked about this in one of my past videos. I think it makes a ton of sense. If he wants to win another national championship, he's a perfect fit at North Carolina to come in and start at power forward. I think it makes a ton of sense. There have been a ton of rumors about him going there. That's where I've got him going. The runner-up for him, though, is Illinois. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to go there as well. However, I don't think they're in as good of a position to win and maybe win it all next year as North Carolina, so I think he's going to UNC. All right, the fourth player we've got is another small school guy, Isaiah Mosely, junior guard from Missouri State. This guy's an absolute volume scorer and perhaps the most efficient scorer in all of the country. Last year, he averaged a little over 20 points a game, 6 rebounds. But he shot 50, 40, 90, which if you're not a real basketball person, that's 50% from the field, 40% from three, and 90% from the free throw line. This is like peak level of efficiency, and he shot a ton of threes. So Mosely is a really, really incredible scorer. But at this point, he wants to leave Missouri State. He wants to win, and he's going to go to a power school. Now, which school is he going to go to? My prediction is he's going to go to Kansas. I think he is a similar mold to what Remy Martin was coming from Arizona State, where Martin played on some bad ASU teams, but he was a really good scorer and he wanted to win. Comes in, takes a lesser role, and wins the championship this past year. The runner-up that I've got for Mosely is Kansas State, actually. Kansas State's been all over Mosely trying to recruit him. Mosely would make Kansas State a lot better, and he would be able to be the guy there that he was at Missouri State, which I think is a big thing. So moved on to the last guy, we've got Malachi Smith is our fifth and final transfer here on our transfer predictions. Sophomore guard from Chattanooga, part of a really, really good Mocs team, was the SoCon Player of the Year last year. Incredible scorer. Once again, another volume scorer. 20 points per game, nearly 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 49% from the field, 41% from 3, 83% from the free throw line. So close to 50, 40, 90. Not quite as good as Isaiah Mosely. However, he may be an even better player than Mosely. Was a part of a really good Mocs team, like I said, almost upset Illinois in the first round of the tournament last year. But Smith wants to win at this point, and this kind of goes along with my prediction, but he transferred almost immediately after their head coach, Lamont Paris, decided he would be leaving and going to South Carolina. And that is my prediction for Malachi Smith, is going to South Carolina to join his old head coach. He had a really good relationship with him. I think he is going to be a part of the Gamecocks. He is on his short list as of right now. Runner-up would be Kentucky for Malachi Smith. Kentucky's got a lot of holes to fill, especially at guard, and I think they're going to be going after Malachi Smith. Is Smith good enough to be a high-volume scorer at Kentucky? I don't know. It's a matter of what role he wants, how much exposure he wants, and what he sees for himself in the future, and how truly good of a relationship he had with his coach in the past. All right, everybody, that is about it for the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Truly appreciate all the love and support. If you haven't already, subscribe down below to make sure you don't miss a thing. As always, this is College Hoops Tonight, and I am your host, Austin Samuels. I hope you have a terrific week, and catch you around.